Hi, my name is Dorenyse Diaz. I'm from Southeast Los Angeles, and I'm currently an assistant principal in Northeast Los Angeles. At first, Black history, I learned about it on a very surface level in grade school. And in college, I thought I was, in so many ways, just like being in the presence of consciousness or trying to develop my own consciousness. But the truth is, I only learned about non-Black Latinx forms of resistance. And I felt satisfied. I felt like that was what I needed to know about myself in order for me to affirm my own life. And then I started teaching in Miami. And when I started teaching in Miami, it was that first semester. A lot of my students, towards the end of the semester, a lot of my students were talking about how excited they were for the new year. A lot of my Haitian students specifically. And I didn't really understand. I thought it was like just because it was the end of the school year, because it was rough. But it turned out it was because of a particular celebration. They were talking a lot about soup jumeau, and spending time with their family, with their loved ones, and what that would mean. And I remember in my own curiosity just asking, like, what's the deal? I asked specifically some questions on why this was so important. And I had a student, she's so powerful. She turned around and she looked at me and she goes, "Miss, it's not just a soup. Like, it's about freedom. It's about celebrating Haiti, about celebrating ourselves, about celebrating that we were the first ones to free ourselves. And that people always look at us as people who are broke or as poor, but we are free. Yes, we are free." To be able to hear that from a 14-year-old is really powerful. But it was also the type of humbling that I needed to receive as a person who had never checked her anti-Blackness, and growing up in pseudo woke or conscious circles, right? And listening to that, I thought to myself, like, what else have I been missing at this point? But also just how powerful it was for a child to be able to hold that themselves. To be able to have this child tell me this was not only life-changing for me, but it in so many ways is life-changing for those that surround her. For those that are around her and noticing the multiple ways that she was affirming her life and the life of others. This is exactly what Boom does. It arms our students with the power of their own history, with the narratives of their ancestors that are oftentimes not centered in our schools, that are not centered in our communities, that are not centered in different spaces, but that exist and have such a wonderful power. And there is a reason why they are not centered oftentimes. And so what Boom is here to do is to combat those reasons by being able to provide those spaces and provide that information to students that they historically have lacked. So basically, what Black history means to me, by way specifically of Boom, it means arming young people with such profound self-love and self-worth grounded in history, that this has the power to not only change themselves and change the way that they approach any situation that is grounded in lies, but that they also have the power to be able to change their communities through that particular lens. And this is why I ask you to take a moment to think about your community, to think about Dallas specifically, and to think about the power that would come through a program like Boom, being able to exist, being able to thrive, and being able to support Black students, Black children in so many different ways, to understand their worth, understand the worth and the history of resilience in their ancestors, and understand overall Black brilliance. That is the purpose of this work, and to be a part of that would be such an immense privilege.